Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our latest rental result webinar. My name is Madeline Roberts. I'm the product marketing specialist for Rental Result at Win Systems. I'm excited to have you all here with us today so we can explore how to unleash hidden rental revenue in your business. This session is all about identifying untapped opportunities within your construction equipment to drive additional revenue and optimize your asset utilization. And I'm thrilled to introduce our two speakers for today. First, we have Todd Millen, one of our experienced account managers at Win Systems. Todd has been with Win the last 5 years, and before that, he's had over a decade working with some of the biggest names in the rental industry. Joining Todd is Alex Barrett, the product manager for Rental Result. Alex has been with Win Systems for over 20 years and worked through many departments at Win, including roles as a developer, customer care specialist, business analyst, the list goes on and on. Alex's extensive experience in implementing and integrating Rental Result makes him a great resource for understanding how to fully leverage the system's capabilities. As we go through the webinar, please feel free to drop any questions in the chat and we'll answer them as we go through the webinar. And to get started, our agenda will be maximizing your equipment's utilization. So Todd will give us some information on that, and then we'll hand it over to Alex to do a demo on external rentals. So Todd, I'll hand it over to you.
Thanks, Madeline. Appreciate it. Well, welcome to the latest webinar in our rental results series, and thanks for your participation. As we're sure you all know, the general construction industry is currently undergoing significant transformations driven by evolving trends and market demands. Sustainability and green building practices, the adoption of smart technology, and the increasing use of modular and prefabricated construction methods are redefining traditional construction processes. As these trends reshape the industry, general contractors are also exploring new avenues to generate additional revenue streams. This includes diversifying services such as offering post-construction maintenance, integrating advanced project management tools, BIM you may be aware of, and expanding into emerging markets like renewable energy infrastructure. By adapting to these trends and seeking innovative revenue opportunities, contractors are positioning themselves to thrive in a competitive and rapidly changing landscape. To expand on these trends further, several of Win's construction customers have figured out that they can generate new revenue streams by leveraging leniency with their equipment and tools to subs or third parties as external rentals. That's what the focus of our webinar today is all about. And Alex, our product manager for Rental Result, will walk us through a preview of how these customers are doing this with our software today. But some of the use cases that are involved are things like spare equipment, equipment that is involved in gaps between phases on the project, equipment that's no longer needed on the project but not yet returned. Other items like non-serialized bulk items, ladders, cords, lights, etc. Safety items that are necessary for the project. PPE, sometimes, obviously, several of you probably have custom branded PPE for specific projects. And then finally, things even like raw materials or consumables that are shared or standardized on a project can be handled through our software platform as well. So those are just a few of the ideas of some of the things our customers are doing to try to generate some additional revenue streams. But with that, I will turn it over to Alex and have him show you how some of our customers do this with our software.
Cheers, Todd. Let me try and share my screen. Fully. And I hope I'm sure.
I see it now.
Excellent. Okay, hopefully everyone can see my screen. Just quickly, I think everyone on the call hopefully is familiar with the job site portal. I'm just going to log into one of our demo systems. Anyone who's ever seen any of our software in my hands is probably very familiar with this particular screen. So just as your project job sites would log in and access the system to place requisitions, I'd log in, place a requisition, I'd select my product however I'm doing that, and then I'd probably come in and select my project task phase code, enter some details, add to my cart. For a third-party external contractor doing the same thing, we'd obviously have a user set up for them so that they can log in. That probably wouldn't be using SSO. If you're using SSO for your internal users, that single sign-on, and they'd probably only have access to a single location and a single project, so less to do when they log in. And currently, they'd see exactly the same product list as your customer base. One of the enhancements we're talking with one of our existing construction customers about making is actually a reduced view so that we can have simplified setup and maintenance. So basically, when they log in, they'll have access to a single project, maybe a single task phase code to completely isolate from the main project and its sort of job costing for the internal self-perform work, but so that we can track the revenue generated to a specific or from a specific job from those external subcontractor, third-party rentals and sales of consumables. Hopefully that makes sense. And then as part of that effort, what we'll also then have is the ability to have a restricted set of equipment fleet, so you don't make the entire fleet that you'd give out to your entire services self-perform division to your job site available to those subcontractors. So if you wish to have a subset, that will be possible. But it will be exactly the same process. They'll log into the portal, they'll pick their products, and they'll have a fixed code. So for my example, that's 999 third party or external revenue. So exactly the same process from a job site perspective, a rollout trading, etc. And then just for speed, back in the system, on the first one that I would created would convert to a contract, and I've just set up a separate customer account for that phase code, the external, so third-party contractor account 1034, and then our main project account 1000 John Wayne Airport. And I can see my screen for Zoom. Apologies, I don't know if you guys see the overlay. But when I go and generate a cycle bill for a month, and hopefully I've hit the best trade days and we have some info. So we can see that we have a continuation invoice for $60. If I preview this particular contract, then we go do the same, verify that we have a pretty much identical $60 invoice for the month. I want to preview the contract. And as we can see, they're pretty similar. The main difference being that I applied some logic, being that it was external, I applied just simply for demonstration purposes a different logo. So Win Equipment Services versus Win. So the entire layout of the contract, the delivery ticket, the pickup, the billing, which is typically used for proof of services, excuse me, and backup can look entirely different. And then we can also support tax. I haven't configured it here, but being that we're using two separate customer accounts, one for the project for the self-perform work and one for the external, if you do wish to charge sales tax, then the sales tax can and will be calculated just for the external if required. And then from a further analysis perspective, I'll just kind of sneak behind the curtain, if you will, and go into financial batch recovery. This is a process. So the invoice generation would have interfaced out to your job costing system. But overnight, we'd posted the batch to the general ledger. I'm just going to quickly do that manually to save us waiting 24 hours. And then I'm going to go look at some revenue and probably period 9 because I billed for September. And would hope that I can see some revenue hitting. So as you can see there, it's set up a rental revenue external account and our main revenue account. So as our revenue posts to the general ledger, we'll have December somehow. Oh, there's our 60. Okay, so our rental revenue for the external, $60, and then we've got 120. We've probably got a couple of invoices. Somewhere. I'll get the hang of the system one day. Yeah. So the theory being that through the general ledger interface, via analysis on the project subtasks phases, we can actually push that revenue to an external revenue account or to an internal rental revenue account. So most of you from implementation will already have the internal revenue working, and a fairly simple change to our general ledger interface to look at some analysis against project phase codes. So quick to implement, quick to make the change. Again, also as part of the further development that we're looking at with the customer, we're thinking about making a change so that rather than doing it through reporting and transactional data, we actually break down the automated nightly utilization data that we create so that we also tag third-party util directly, both from a physical utilization and a fiscal utilization perspective. So I think I can hand back, Madeline. I think that was all I had.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex, for that demonstration. Then we have, let me see. We had a couple questions come in. So Todd, I'll ask you this one. Of the companies that are doing things like this, what percentage of their equipment activity are they exposing to external rentals?
Sorry, I have to get off mute. But we've seen a variety of things, but I'd say the people that are doing it, something in the neighborhood of 20 to 25% is kind of common, but it all depends on how much they want to grow and push that segment of their business. So it can vary quite a bit, but I think those that are starting to explore this market, that's probably a good starting point for those that are only into this for a few years.
Awesome, thank you. And a couple other questions. Can we tax just subcontractor sales and or rental?
I'll take that one. Yes, we can. I think I briefly just mentioned. So we currently do it. It's a slightly convoluted solution in that we set up currently taxation by currency code. So we end up with something like USD is the standard US dollar currency, and then USD2 or something equivalent USDB is the external. So it's the same currency code. It will have an exchange rate of 1-to-1. It would never need maintaining, but we'd configure the smaller use case, the external, to actually require taxation. As part of the modification that one of our customers has requested, I'm going to throw in some R&D work that says let's enhance that so we don't need the multiple currencies, because it just looks odd. Yes, it works perfectly. Yes, it's simple to set up and maintain, but it just looks weird. I don't like it, and if I was an auditor looking at stuff, I'd start questioning it. So we're going to tidy that up as part of the effort. So just setting the external flag will actually kick in the sales tax if the sales tax is required. Based on the question, I'd say somebody does have an interest or need.
Thank you. That is all I had today. So thank you so much, Todd and Alex, for sharing that little tidbit on RentalResult. So we will see you next month for our next webinar. Thank you, everyone.